Hi all, welcome to my channel, Cathryn Reads Books, and today I'm going to be talking about Cursebound by Saara El-Arifi. Yeah, that is how you pronounce it. This is the second book in the trilogy, so the third book is not written. I think it's coming out later this year, but the first book is Feybound, and I read it last summer, and I really loved the first book, so much so that I was so disappointed to know that the second book hadn't come out yet, because they were saying it was part of a trilogy, so I just assumed that the other two books had been written, but that was not the case. And I searched high and low into at Google and realised the second one wasn't out. So I was so excited when this one came out. So this is about two sisters, Yerin and Little, and they, in the first book, they basically were thrown out of their tribe, clan, elven basically clan, and they end up in a fairy world. I won't ruin the first book, but this second book follows on from when you and Little are in the fairy world, and they are very much in the fairy world, and it's all about, how to explain it without ruining the story. Let me read the blurb basically. So you and Little are no longer prisoners to the Fae court, but now they're bound by the shackles of their heart. So just to jump in there, they have both started relationships in the first book which continue into this book. So Yerin is a, what do they call it, like corporal in an army, like she's high up, she's a, like, she leads, and she ends up falling in love with one of the fairy princesses at the time, who becomes queen. And then Little, she is a diviner, so she sees into the future, and she falls in love with a fellow comrade from her last home, and yeah, and it continues, but he has a twist which I will not share. So Yerin was born for war but is unprepared for love. She has left her new lover, the Queen of the Fae, to return to her homeland, only to find that her former lover now threatens war against the Fae. Left behind, her sister Little is determined to break the curse that binds the Fae to their realm, and when a stranger appears in the city, Little is convinced he's the key, but the fates that once spoke to her have fallen silent. Can Little and Yerin discover the secret behind the curse and unite these two worlds before they destroy each other? So obviously this is a romantasy book. There's definitely an LGBTQ plus theme throughout this as well, which I really loved. I loved reading about different relationships, and I thought it was just a really easy read, and I did fall in love with the characters, and as always I cannot wait for the third book to find out what happens to them, because this book ends at quite a pivotal time of the Fae world and who they're about to go against. There's lots of new, or there's one big new character in this book who I really loved and loved finding out, and his history and why he's such an important, integral character in the story of this trilogy. And I think he's called Alder, and I think we'll hear more about him in the third book, and I think more will come clear. But I loved hearing about his nomadic life, and he lives in the trees, but he doesn't know where he comes from, and he has a really strong connection with Obeya, who are these characters, these animals that connect with Fae, and they have a lifelong connection, which I really love. So yeah, this is definitely a really enjoyable book. So if you're into like Fourth Wing, Courts of Thorns and Roses, I think you'll really enjoy this book. I don't think it's as pacey as those, but still very enjoyable, and I very much enjoyed the first two books, so I'm sure I'll enjoy the third one when it does come out. I think she's an incredible writer, Saara El-Arifi. I think she builds stories quite quickly, and I think that's what I love about fantasy books, the world building, and I think she does a great job in this book, and especially to build on to the first one. So if you enjoyed the first one, I think you'll definitely enjoy this one. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this book. I would love to know your thoughts on it too. Please let me know if you've read it or you're going to read the trilogy, and yeah, can't wait to hear. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.